Hello folks, right, I'm on the top of Wavering Down at the moment. I'm trying to shield you out of the wind noise. Just a little bit further along from the trig point. And so I'm going to set up the radio here. Then I'm going to do a walk across and around the top of Crook Peak. So yeah, purpose of this video is to show you the very basic and rudimentary setup that I brought with me. Really ass end. But it just goes to illustrate what you can do with some really cheap kit. Easy way to get into some Shtf comms. There's loads of old CB radios lying around. You don't have to go top end with anything. And if you're looking to get into trying out the sort of portable radio stuff, perhaps start out this way with probably the whole lot put together. Wouldn't cost £100 to get set up, and then maybe progress, if you so wish, onto SSB and perhaps onto amateur radio. So what I would say, this is a great way to get going. Anyway, I'll show you the kit. I'm going to get set up. Now, I'm going to be calling into, it's Wednesday afternoon, 18th of January. I'm going to be calling into the Homesteaders Net again. There's, I've been, well, it's pretty much common sense anyway, but advice is that if you are in an SHTF situation, you're better off talking to people that you know, rather than just shout out and get random people back, because you can't really trust that random people are going to be sensible and pass on messages or whatever. So pretty much all the people probably that I'm going to talk to on this net are people that I've known for years and I've actually met them, and quite a few of them have been in some quite responsible jobs in the past. So there we are, trustworthy and not random. So I'm going to get unpacked and we'll see what happens. Okay, once again, apologies for the wind noise. I'm up about 200 meters, but I've walked up from pretty much sea level because I'm above the Somerset levels here. So not an extraordinarily fantastic position. So it will go to show that you don't have to get to the top of Everest to blow some smoke on the radio. Anyway, radio kit. So I've gone back to basics. That is just a 12 volt 7 amp hour sealed lead acid battery. They're pretty cheap. You can sometimes get them for free because they get swapped out by maintenance people, because they reside usually in things like fire alarm and burglar alarm panels. So you can get usable batteries pretty much for nothing. You can actually get them out of UPS uninterruptible power supplies as well. Somebody gave me these. Holds a good charge, but they're heavy. I think that's 2.5 kilos. So the one thing I would recommend, if you are going to embellish your kit, get a lighter weight battery. On top of that, there's the microphone. There's the T2LT antenna. There's a patch lead, SWR meter. Now the patch lead and SWR meter, I brought those because I've never actually properly tuned that one. That was one that I made, and I've yet to check the SWR and tune it properly. It's not far off, no doubt, but normally if you've got a good well-made antenna like that, you'll probably be able to dispense with those. I'll show you the radio in a minute. The only other embellishment, that is actually a voltmeter with some little crocodile clips on it, so I can monitor the voltage of the battery. I've got my, you've seen it many times, that's so I can put the antenna up independently. All it is a white plastic disc with a hole in it which slips over the 6 meter pole. But on this occasion I'm actually going to just tape it to that fence post. Apologies for the edit, the microphone fell off. It's just a very basic 40 channel FM Midland 77-1165 1990s radio. Probably cost me about, I don't know, 15 quid maybe off of eBay. So that's it folks. I'm going to get set up now before it's too late, and let's see if we can do any damage on this net. Okay, we're set up, or I'm set up, it's only me. Right, it was worth bringing the SWR meter. I was being a bit of a blockhead, to be honest, because there's no way I'm going to set up the antenna with that fence underneath it, because that's thrown it out of kilter a little bit. In fact, the SWR was high when I had the antenna down low, so I've had to just hoik it up that to get some clearance, because obviously it was affecting the lower half of the antenna. But yeah, I think the antenna does need to be shortened slightly, but it's nothing to worry about. I'm showing about 1.8 to 1 on channel 40 and about 1.3 to 1, so I reckon if I just shorten that by about an inch, just fold it over a bit more by about an inch, that'll do that. That'll be perfect. But I'll do that in open ground another time. Anyway, so I'll dispense with that SWR meter out of line, because it does rob a little bit of power and I haven't got very much to start with. So that's the setup. I'm hearing voices, so we should be good to go. Battery, I haven't got any fancy connectors or anything like that. It literally is cut the spade connectors and some chocky block things. There's lots of things you can do to embellish these setups. You don't have to. And in an emergency, any port in a storm. So that, so far, really my only recommendation is to go for a lithium based battery, because 2.5 kilos of battery versus about 800 grams is a big weight saving in the bag. Okay, let's get in on that net. Okay, one more little snippet. Voltmeter's in line, 12.4 volts. Now that's the other advantage of lithium batteries, is they hold their voltage for a long time. The voltage output stays quite flat, then it drops off suddenly at the point of discharge. With these batteries, that will wither down. Now with FM, especially these old-fashioned radios that aren't sort of CPU based, you can go down to some seriously low voltages, and although your signal strength will drop, your audio quality will stay okay. So let's see what it's like at the end of the net. Probably won't do that much talking anyway, so it'll be fine for this afternoon.
Bear with me just a moment, Alan. Yeah, is there another station calling in? This is Charlie Tango 252 in company. If you'd like to try again, please.
Yes, 104, trying there, Ian.
Good afternoon, Gary. It's been a while, so yeah, pleasure to hear you. Yeah, whereabouts are you today, Gary?
Sat on the top of a place called Wavering Down on, well, I think it's still part of the Mendips, overlooking the Somerset levels there, Ian.
Wavering Down, yep, understood on that. Yeah, well, I'll look that up on an OS map, and I'll be able to sort of pin you down, so to speak. But yeah, coming in well. I didn't notice your signal strength, but a bit of wind effect on the microphone. But yeah, otherwise nice and clear.
Great stuff, great stuff. Yeah, it's pretty much dead opposite Midland Hill. You've got the M5 between us. So it's Midland Hill, which is quite well known for radio ops, but I've hiked up, and I'm going to carry on around a place called Crook Peak. If you look that one up, that's quite famous for gliders. They fly gliders off the top of Crook Peak. Much more pronounced peak, but a little bit lower down. It looks higher, but it's actually lower down. So I just lobbed a little station up together and tried to get in on the net, and glad I did there, Ian. Back to you.
Well, certainly working well, can't fault you at all. And for your information, I've got you 5.9 plus 10, so yeah, well, peaking at 5.9 plus 10, otherwise I'll give you a humble 5.9. Let's see if Alan 113 is taking you. So Alan 113, any copy on Gary 104?
Certainly have, Ian. How about it, Gary 104? You got a copy on Charlie Tango 113, home base.
Yeah, 5 and 5 into me there, Alan. No problem at all, mate. No problem at all. 5 and 5.
Yeah, roger that, Gary. 5 and 5 my way as well. Not too far from the town of Ch27, Gary.
Happy days. I don't know if I've ever spoken to you from your own base there, mate. So I hope you're keeping well and had a half decent Christmas and New Year. We didn't. We came down with COVID on Christmas night. So that pretty much summed it up, but it meant we had a quiet one, which was welcome there, Alan. Back to you.
Yeah, quiet one this year, Gary, and as you say, Happy New Year. I was surprised to hear you coming through to me at home base.
Okay, that's all done and dusted. Net was a little bit quiet today, and we were getting some atmospherics from sort of Eastern European taxi stations, which always make it onto this frequency, and many others too, when certain propagation conditions exist. But yeah, the actual battery's still running 12.4 there, so that's great. So yeah, the radio worked quite well. I did have to just cover the microphone over with that towel, because a bit of wind noise coming across the top, I usually put a glove over it or a sock or something like that to alleviate that, but I'm blowed if I can find it in my bag. Anyway, I'm going to get packed down now, and there's the antenna, T2LT on a 6 meter roach pole, nothing fancy, and yeah, I'm going to carry on and finish off for the day. And what a lovely day it is too.